My grandma met my grandfather at a young age, and they hit it off instantly. They ended up being a family, pairing of two and growing into a family of five, three girls. And they did everything with those girls. They took them to sports games. They took them to anything they could. They made sure they got the schooling that they needed. They wanted them to have everything that that they couldn't have, like any parent would. My mom, who's here today, she can attest that both my grandma and my grandfather were just the greatest people. Even the simplest things just meant so much to me growing up and seeing small things. Like we'd go to the grocery stores on a Saturday morning, and Grandma would sneak me $1 to go to the dollar store and get candy, even though Mom knew it would ruin my supper. And even when she was shopping, we'd always sit in the car and listen to the radio. It wasn't until my grandfather's health started to decline that mornings like that dwindled down. You see, he was a severe diabetic, and he ended up losing his right leg. And even with all this happening, it didn't slow them down, none whatsoever. They still managed to go out to all their grandkids' baseball games. They still managed to go out into town and go shopping. But not even 2 years after that, my grandfather lost his upper leg. And it was not easy. She kept her spirits up. We all tried to pitch in and do what we could do. But it wasn't until my grandfather passed away that Alzheimer's actually started showing. Just with music for myself, music to me was something that I connected to her with. I started playing in a band out in Greenville, North Carolina, and met a couple of guys, guitar player that I knew. We met a drummer right down the street from us, and even applied for a singer through the Carolina Arbitrator actually, and got a great one. My grandma always loved to hear me sing and hear me play and that kind of stuff. And it wasn't until I started writing my own music that something just connected with me and her. That actually the first song that I wrote was about my grandfather. And the song that we'll share up here in a little bit, it was called "The Memory of Us." And writing a song like that, you know that having a song, you connect to somebody. A lot like what Steve said up here, music is a great way to connect to somebody. It's a personal experience. And no matter what the instrument is, whether it's a guitar, a piano, somebody singing, it's just something that connects with the listener. They know the feeling. They know the situation. They've been there before. People form personal connections like that. And there's actually a documentary on Netflix right now called Alive Inside, a story of music and memory. And it meant a lot to me watching this, but it was amazing. There was one particular character named Henry. And Henry, it was amazing. They put in a gospel tape that he had when he was younger. He knew music really well. Henry was the type of person that he had Alzheimer's. He didn't know who the nurses were who was seeing him. He didn't know who his daughter was. And when they played this tape for Henry, his eyes lit up like a kid on Christmas morning. He not only knew the song, but started to recite the lyrics. And everybody's face just lit up. It was the same exact feeling that I had when I wrote the song, "The Memory of Us." It took me a while to write it, and the first time I actually played all the way through it, I'll be honest, I started crying. I finally worked through it a couple times, got the courage to sing it in front of my mom, and I couldn't even make it through the first time without her crying, which led to me crying again. But it just connected. And see, my grandma, she passed away at 82. She suffered with Alzheimer's for a good while. But before she passed away, I was able to sing this song for her. And I still remember it so vividly. Just seeing her smile as I sat down with the guitar. I was so anxious, so nervous, much like I am standing here talking about you guys. And she, I started into the first chord of the song, and she watched me so intently. She started moving her feet back and forth, and I played the last chord of the song, and she just clapped so enthusiastically. And it was just a special moment. Even if it was for just a moment, she connected. She knew that it meant something to me, and it meant something to her. Somewhere deep down, I know that she knew that. I still learn things about my grandma, even though she's not here with me today. As I was talking to my mom and to my aunt earlier this week, I actually found out that she used to play guitar. I've known my grandma my whole life. I had no idea that she even had picked up a musical instrument, let alone how to play one. It was just something that, even knowing somebody for that long, you always find out things that you didn't know. But believe me, when I say this about a song, and we'll play it for you guys in a minute, every time I play the song with my band, whether it's acoustically or I play it for somebody, I feel it. I feel it deep inside, and I know that my grandma watches over me every single time I sing that song. That puts a smile on my face. It puts goosebumps on my skin. But I know that she connects with me. She was a blessing, like each and every one of us are here today. And I just want to say, what these people with the AFA here are doing today is beyond measure. It means a lot to me to not only be recognized for the song that we have, but to know that I'm honoring my grandma and keeping her name alive. But knowing that she's proud of it, and I love her for that. Thank you, guys.
Good afternoon. My caregiving story starts in a different way. A friend of mine asked me, did you have a relative with Alzheimer's dementia? And I said no. And she said, well, why are you so passionate in caring for these folks? Well, back in the dark ages of 1985, in a 900-bed nursing home on Long Island, I was hired as activity director. And I was responsible for 40 men, which is very unusual in a nursing home. You go 22 units, 2 men's units, and the rehab unit. And as I learned my job and learned my residents, I really, really enjoyed it. And back in '85, it wasn't Alzheimer's and dementia, it was senile dementia, hardening of the arteries. So we were totally clueless. And during that time, music, which is so important, throughout the whole thread of this conference and through care for people with dementia, I met Gail E Sonnesso. He was a music therapist for this 900-bed nursing home. And we as activity directors worked him to death. Because he would come in and chaos would disappear, happy faces, smiles, people singing. So he was in great demand. The happy news is that Angelo and I married after meeting in the nursing home and moved to North Carolina. Now, I got a job as an activity director in a resort, and it just was not the same. Paid to play was lovely, but I was really missing that therapeutic part of my caregiving. So in 2001, Angelo and I received a grant from the state of North Carolina to start a licensed adult day program, which we ran for 10 years. And using my background in occupational therapy, recreation therapy, and in the course of these years I also got a degree in rehab counseling. So using these skills, I developed a program that was meaningful for our folks. And they did everything. We had people come in with ponies, we had bagpipers, we made cakes, we made pies, we made soap. We just had one grand day. And of course the key to all of this was the schedule, to be consistent, to let folks know what we were going to do, and to include them. So that's my caregiving story. Right now we're providing a new model of care, which is a memory cafe. We call our memory cafe Harmony Cafe. And we meet once a month at a local church for 3 hours. And our day begins with meet and greet, and everyone pretty far into the disease can still remember their name and sometimes where they were born. And so we go around and that's our introduction. And we usually don't get too far because we find people from Pittsburgh, or we find people from New York, or we find people from Raleigh, or you name it, and already connections are forming. After we do the introductions, we do a craft. And then we do chair exercise, because as it was mentioned, exercise is key. We do it to music. We repeat each exercise and describe what we're doing. So it's really dementia inclusive. Then we have a hot lunch or a cold lunch, but we have a big lunch. And at the end of the day, we have music. We've had a 50s rock and roll band. We've had the Lost Colony Choir, for those of you who know the Outer Banks. Of course, we had Angelo. I couldn't not have my husband play. And that's our day. And the response to that has been overwhelming. Now, it's a community event. We have a 2-year-old that's been growing up with us that comes every month. We have grandchildren come. 1/3 of the folks that come are people living with memory loss. 1/3 are their caregivers, either family or professional, and 1/3 is community people, church people, volunteers. And so what we're trying to do is, number one, provide a meaningful day for people living with dementia. Number two, demonstrate. Because sometimes caregivers, as we've seen during the day, need a demonstration that mom can still do this, dad can still do this. And 3, reduce stigma by including the wider community. So that's my caregiving story, and my heart goes out to everyone that's been a caregiver, everyone that supported a family, and everyone living with memory issues. And I thank you for your music, and I thank you for your journey. Because it doesn't take a family, it doesn't take a village, it takes the whole world to fight this disease and provide support for people living with dementia.
All right. Yeah.